Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please join me for a moment of silence. Thank you. You can be seated. Welcome everyone to the meeting in person and online. First up is the approval agenda. I will move it.
Second.
Motion by Bittinger, second by Nelson. Any discussion or changes? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed say nay. Motion passes 5-0. Next up is the consent agenda. Items 2 through 6 constitute a consent agenda of routine action items to be considered by one motion. Items pass unanimously unless a separate vote is requested by a board member. Item 2 is approval of the minutes of the August 12, 2025 meeting. Number 3 is approval of the claims. Number 4, from Human Resources, Melissa Thomas, approval of a memorandum of personnel transactions. Item B is authorization to initiate hiring process. And C is a presentation of award certificate to Don Norton. And I'll hold this up. This is an award for Don. 4 hours of paid time off awarded to Don Norton for her generous donation of 24 gallons to the Life Serve Blood Center. And so that's from the Board of Supervisors. So congratulations, Don, for that. Oh, here she comes. We'll take a moment. Don, come on down. Come on forward. We were just getting to celebrate you. So there you go.
Thank you guys for doing that.
No,
Yes, ma'am.
thank you.
Thank you for caring for others. All right. Item 5 from Secondary Roads, Laura Severs. It's the approval of surplus equipment to be sold on tractorhouse.com and/or directly from the engineer's office for the listed price. And lastly, item 6 from Board Administration, Karen James. Approval of lifting tax suspensions for petitioners who fail to recertify their income or income does not qualify for continued tax suspension. Item B is the approval of lifting tax suspensions for PR. Item C is the approval of resolution for a tax suspension for MK. And with that, that is the end of the consent agenda, and I will move that.
Second.
All right, motion by Bittinger, second by Nelson. Any other discussion? All right, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. Motion passes 5-0. All right, on to item, actually, we're close enough to our 4:35 set time. Let's do that first. From Board Administration, Heather Satterwright Van Sickle, public hearing and sale of property parcel ending in 7003, AKA 611 9th Street. This is a direct sale property to the warming shelter, correct? Okay. All right. At this time, we're going to open up the public hearing. If anybody wants to come speak for or against this property or the sale of it or anything, just come on forward and just state your name. That's all we need is your name. And so the public hearing is now open.
I'm Joe Twidwell. I'm one of the directors of the warming shelter, and that property sits up at the corner of ours, and for a long time it's been an eyesore. People hang out up there, and because we don't control it, we can't trespass people.
Mm-hmm.
And what our hope is that if we get the property, what we can do is clean the property up. Also, it's the water's running off the property down our embankment wall, and it's eroding behind it. So we're hoping to get in there and pull some of the dirt back and clean it up, and it won't be an eyesore anymore.
All right.
If anybody has any
Yeah.
questions.
Questions from the board? Okay.
Thank
All right.
you.
Thank you, sir. All right. Anyone else here want to speak for this? Okay. For or against it?
Seeing no public comments, I move the public hearing be closed.
All right. Second that. So motion by Nelson, second by Bittinger. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right. Motion passes 5-0. With that, we will sell the property to the warming shelter. All right. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. Motion passes 5-0. All right. Thank you. You can please see Heather in the back there.
Does he need a motion and a second on that?
Oh, yeah.
I believe we haven't had bids yet. That was just the public hearing that was closed, correct?
Correct, but it's a direct,
Oh,
it's a direct sale. Sale, excuse me, wrong tense, it's
Okay.
sale, yep. Correct. Heather, we're good, correct? What's that? We're good since it's a direct sale, right? Yeah, that was approved a couple weeks ago. Right.
we do need a motion and a second to authorize the sale,
Did-
correct?
Oh, yeah, I
We
sorry, yeah.
closed the hearing.
Okay,
and-
yeah, I'm sorry. All right, motion, I'll make the motion to sell the property.
Second.
All right, motion by Bittinger, second by Nelson. I thought we did.
No, you just call for a
Close it,
vote.
sorry.
That's okay.
Thank
Yeah.
you. All right, so motion by Bittner, second by Nelson. All right, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. Motion passes 5-0. I apologize, board, for that. All right, with that, that brings us back to item number 7. Thank you, Joe. Item number 7 from Emergency Services, from Drew Bear. Approval of amending the funding source from CIP to Gaming Fund for the amount of $29,320 to purchase equipment for the new rescue vehicle. And Drew, it's all yours.
Good afternoon, Drew Beyer, Woodbury County Emergency Services Director. Ryan kind of got a hold of me and talked to me about this. That would be a bad idea since we had the issue we approved back in July 15th for the truck, that the CIP thing got kind of changed because no one buy vehicles that way. And I guess we just want to clarify for the, I guess, the record or for the proper procedure that we note that that money, the balance of it, $29,320 to come out of gaming revenues, as I believe what Ryan mentioned before about it. Your turn.
Yeah, and I just wanted to let you know that right now, the unallocated funds, I said was 250,000. On my internal spreadsheet, I've already included the 29,000, so that 250 includes, changing this to 90,000. Because we have already approved the purchase of the pickup for about 60,000, but there's more equipment needed. And the original CIP was 90,000, and when we unallocated it, as I said, on my internal, I already kind of assumed we were gonna put 90 in. So right now, the balance of 250 does include it.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Okay.
All right, any questions from the board?
What is some of the equipment that you're gonna be putting on there?
I'm sorry.
What is some of the equipment that you'll be putting on there?
Oh, it'll be, we usually put a heavier grade ranch hand type bumper in the front of it to the effect of occasional deer strikes. It seems to hold up a lot better for that and occasional big turkeys. Along with that, we put a heavier winch, so wintertime they get stuck and get themselves out. There's also going to be a topper or cap, how you want to call it, a slide out bed in the back. We actually store extra totes, extra equipment on a roll out tray system. I will also be putting in it's called a crew cabinet, basically. There's a module we put in the back that we store our EMS gear in, so God forbid an accident, it stays on a shelf and closed system, where before it laid loose on the back seat and something would happen, it would all go forward. So that's an expenditure, and then a warning light package and maybe some decals, but that's the majority of it.
All right.
I move it.
Second.
All right, motion by Nelson, second by Dietrich. All right, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. Motion passes 5-0. On to item B, which is the approval of asphalt patch repair work in the amount of $2,500.
Correct. What that is, obviously, during last year's CAP, we got approval to do a concrete placement up front. Super Dietrich had a chance to see it and look at it. It turned out very, very nice. The vendor, Tani Mara, did a great job. They were easy to work with. Hope we use them again. When they did the transition, there's an area where it goes from the new concrete to basically the old asphalt parking. They ended up having to take a little bit more than anticipated. So now there's probably a good foot out in depth, and then it tapers out and gets kind of crunchy because they rode machine over it. So I'm looking at doing it. Basically, I called a couple different vendors, sent them photographs and detailed instructions. And I'd like to get funding to put a asphalt patch. Basically, it's 29 feet long by about 10 feet across. All that does is go from the concrete edging into that little dip area where it drains, so it wouldn't affect the draining at all. Just mainly want to get that. Because otherwise, in the wintertime, we got rock in there now, and I got a feeling that rock won't stay there when we start plowing stuff. So that's what I'm looking for this funding.
Well, I apologize. I haven't been down there to see it. I talked to some of the
Busy person.
some of the contractors were at the fair, and they said it went really well. They had
Yeah, it did.
nice weather for it. So
Andy Beavers from the company was great to work with. Easy communication, open, really dialogue. Gave us a good timeline, a schedule, and stuff, kept me informed. So it worked out very well. They did very good work. Very happy with it.
I would move the 2,500. We want to pay that out of gaming, Ryan.
We can. Another option, there's 90,000 unallocated from 26 CIP, because, we did do a $44,000 project that I believe was like 500 left after the,
484, to be exact.
so, we could increase the CIP on that.
Oh,
and
sure.
just, pay it all out of CIP, or, we could use it
Yeah.
gaming separately.
That makes sense.
That 400 gives a little margin, because I said that 2,800 is the estimate by photos and stuff, so just in case it goes over a little bit, I have a little bit of a margin. And of course, whatever's left over goes back to the funding system.
So do 2,500 CIP, and then it'd be
So
like
just, I would say we
46.5 would be the total project out there.
increase it from 44,000 to 46,500.
It's all the same
Yeah,
project.
it's all the same, yeah.
Well, I would move that then out of CIP, 26 CIP.
Second.
All right. Motion by Nelson, second by Dietrich. All right, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right, all opposed, say nay. Motion passes 5-0.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, Drew. All right, moving on. Number 9, reports on committee meetings. If there's any for this week? Okay.
I had Soil Water Conservation Board meeting this morning down at Sergeant Bluff USDA Service Center. Nothing to report there. MERD has their grant reception or announcement, I guess, on Thursday.
Correct.
Thank you to Heather. There was a notice of gathering published, because I'm
Right.
not sure, are you planning to
I
go,
will be there,
Dan?
yeah.
And Kent, you said you were?
Sorry?
You're gonna be at the MERD deal on Thursday?
I'd like to be.
Okay, and I'll be there as well. David Gleiser reached out. There is a liaison that kind of serves from the Board of Supervisors on MERD, along with the City Council. And in the past, it had been Supervisor Raddick. The MERD limits don't mesh up with the counties, so Keith was kind of served on that till after he, was no longer in office, but they needed to replace him, and so they asked if I would be willing to do that, and I said I would, so
Okay.
I guess I'll be the new liaison from the Board of Supervisors to MERD, so looking forward to working with him.
Sounds good. Thank you, Mark. All right, okay.
Kent and I had the Veterans Affairs meeting last week, and, they go through their consent agenda of paying out to veterans for funeral services that don't have somebody to do that. A lot of consent agenda on some of that stuff, which are good things. Good stuff with community involvement. One of the things they talked about was the possibility of I'd never heard of this, but I think it was a mobile veterans claims truck they're looking at the possibility of trying to get it up here for the tri-state area, which I thought was interesting. A veteran can go in and work their claims right there and maybe be approved the same day. And then they just have a lot of other community involvement that they're going out. I think the pancake breakfast is coming up in Sergeant Bluff in November, I believe it is. So looking for people to flip pancakes. And other than that, that's really all we had.
Okay. All right. All right, sounds good. With that, we'll move on to item 10, citizen concerns. Come on back, Drew.
Take advantage of the little crowd. Again, Drew Byer, Woodbury County Emergency Services Director. Been a while since we gave that kind of a condition of the department, so to speak, how we're at. Right now, over last year, we're about 24 calls ahead of last year for the first 6 months, calendar-wise, compared to before. We're averaging in the last 212 days about 3.46 calls a day. Just kind of odd things is that, we're finding that the busiest day of the week is Sundays. Busiest month so far has been February with 114 calls in 1 month. Busiest day, time frame is from 10 in the morning to 11. I don't know why that happens, but it's been going kind of frequently. The busiest day of the year from midnight to 24-hour period, we've actually had 7 days that tied for 7 calls each of those days in the first 7 months. To keep it steady, as of a total responses from January 1 to July 31st, for EMS response has been a total of 735. So the numbers are starting to pick up as we anticipated, with elderly people getting older and older in the community and stuff, and more illnesses happening. And of that, the most common 2 things for calls type we're going on are sick party and trouble breathing. So, and of that also, on the backside, a small sided thing is that we also did not include there was a number of fire calls that we handled. In the previous last year, 2024 year, we had 33. This year, we had 69 so far, and that includes like going to assist departments with structure fires, gas leaks, spills, lighting call, that stuff too, so. And a lot of that numbers, so obviously we know from the dry January, February, March, those numbers quite high, so who knows how next year. That's it, just want to get a little short briefing on what's going on. Any questions, anything? If not, I'll get out of your way. Thank you.
Thank you, Drew. All right, any other citizen concerns?
Kenny Schmitz, Woodbury County Building Services Director. Just wanted to inform the board, we have a problem with the air conditioning at the Trosper Hoyt facility. If you'll remember, about a month and a half ago, 2 months ago thereabouts, we had a well line that was leaking and we did a patch on it. We are experiencing the same problem again. We're going to have to dig that well line up and totally replace it. We're guessing we have another leak, a different leak somewhere else in that same line. We were hoping that we could make it a little farther into the future with that line, but apparently it's leaking somewhere again. We need to do an emergency repair on it. Right now, our water suction pressure isn't enough to keep the chiller operating in that building. The chiller will run for 15, 20 minutes and it'll trip off on not having enough water flow pressure. We have been contacting contractors this afternoon, trying to find someone who can take a look at it or get right on the work for us. We have not yet found one. We meet with 2 contractors again tomorrow morning, and hopefully we can get quotes from those 2 contractors and get the work started as soon as possible. I have no idea really what this will cost, just off the top of my head. I'm guessing it could be in the range of $125,000 or so. I'm just guessing. Thank you. Any questions I can answer for you?
Is
Kenny, I
that
got a question for you about something different though, but if you guys want to ask about
Is
this.
that cast iron pipe that's leaking?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So that's all. Thank you.
The other question I had is a different subject, but could you remind me, when is the old jail gonna be taken down, deconstructed?
Yes. So we've been jumping many hurdles to get to the point where we can actually send that out for bid, demolition bid. We've had some DNR hurdles that we needed to jump in, such as capping wells, the discontinuance of monitoring the site and doing sampling, removing a diesel tank underground that was in place for the generator. We've completed all of those hurdles so far. We are just in the process of doing an asbestos abatement to get some asbestos out of there. That should be, I hope, complete in a couple of weeks. And after that hurdle is jumped, that is the last one. We can then send that contract out for demolition contractors to bid on.
Yeah, that just came up in that emergency management, this meeting that I had just recently, and so I just thought I'd ask you.
Sure.
Thank you.
Thank
Well,
you.
good luck, Kenny. Cast iron pipes, they get you every time. Yes, Auditor Scaff.
So I wanted to update you on the election. It's the last week of the election, in-person voting that's allowed. We've had a very high turnout for a special election. As of today, we've had 2,255 requested ballots. Over 600 people have come into our office to vote since the 6th, which is very high, very good outcome for the special election. We did hold our first satellite station yesterday, which we had about 50 voters come through. Tomorrow, we'll have a satellite station at the Sioux City Community Theater on Riverside Boulevard from the hours of 1 to 7. And on Saturday, our office will be open from 8 a.m. until 4 p.m. And we'll have a satellite station at Long Lines from 9 a.m. until 3 p.m. Individuals can vote through Monday at 4:30 in our office. So Monday is the last in-person voting for any of the precincts 1 through 22. We've had a handful of people stopping in who are in precincts outside of that area, so individuals need to kind of find out what their precinct is. If they go to the Woodbury County Elections website, they can find their precincts. And if they've received mailers, they most likely are within the area of precincts 1 through 22. One thing I did put a press release out is that earlier this year, after I took office, I did have the ballot drop box removed. We've had a few people concerned about that, so I want to just emphasize that the ballot drop box is no longer outside of the courthouse. So individuals do need to either mail the ballots in if they've received them by mail, or they have to bring them in person to drop them off by election night, which is the 26th Tuesday at 8:00 p.m. in order for them to be counted.
Okay.
I was just gonna say, Michelle, for those that want to drop off a ballot, what are the regular hours that they can do that? And then what are your hours on election day?
Yes, so Monday through Friday, we're open from 8:00 until 4:30. And Saturday this week will be open from 8:00 until 4:00. Monday is 8 until 4:30. Election day will be open until 8:00 p.m. for individuals to drop their ballot off if they want to drop it off. We will not be open for regular business. It'll just be to drop off ballots by 8 p.m. on election day.
Okay.
On election day, individuals do have to go to their polling location. They cannot just vote anywhere. The polling locations are primarily at the schools. The 12 precincts in Sioux City are at the schools, and we have one in Lawton at the community center. The schools will be in session. It's the second day of school. We've met with the school personnel and we've reviewed all those locations. There are some areas where the students will be coming and going, but that will be an entrance that is specific for the students. So the voters and the students will not be in a common area other than when the students are coming in and out from school. And the precinct election officials are prepared to set up in the locations. Most of them will be in the vestibules of the school, so it's a smaller area. So people need to take into consideration 7:30 to 8, or maybe 7:30 to 8:30 as being a time of congestion when the students are coming to school, and from probably 2:30 until about 3:30 when the students are leaving school. Because those are the times where there's going to be a little bit more traffic, so it may be a little bit more difficult to find a parking spot or just to come with the congestion of the schools.
Michelle, do you have any, one question I have is, do you know, and what is the turnout in other special elections we've had over the decades? Do you have any data on that? I was just curious.
I do not, but I do
Okay.
understand that this is we are having a lot of voters, so it is a higher
Good.
turnout than normal for this election.
Good.
And a lot of times turnout's driven by the candidates, so they're both doing a great job getting their message out, and it's showing with the voters that are returning.
It's always good to see people engaging in their constitutional republic, right? Yep. All right, with that, any more of the citizen concerns? Seeing none, moving on, board concerns. Go ahead.
All right. Well, so it helps when you live about 4 miles from Climbing Hill to swing over there to the emergency services. But while I was there, some of Drew's guys came in from a call, and so it just highlights the importance of having them in the community and where they're at, and highlights the importance of continuing to do what they do there. And I appreciate what he does and what they do. I'll throw it out again this year. The Iowa High School Rodeo 25-26 season starts off in Mobile at the Woodbury County Fairgrounds this weekend, Saturday, Sunday. There'll be hundreds of families and kids and trailers there coming in. It's good for the community. It's good for the surrounding communities. The junior high school rodeo, or junior high rodeo, is their second rodeo. They started off, I believe it was in Afton. So it's free to come watch. You come out on Saturday. It should be a good weekend for it, and see a lot of good local kids competing.
All right, thank you. All right, anybody else? The only thing I have, it's good to be back. I just wanted to address the Veterans Affairs. I was someone that seemed like it was blowing up. I just want to encourage our constituents to always check our website for the agenda. That'll tell you what is being discussed every week. And as always, to our public, the supervisors want to hear from you. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, we want to hear you in public, but ahead of time, please feel free to reach out to us, especially, our cell phone numbers are on the website and emails. Please reach out to us if you have any questions, concerns. I know there was some misinformation put out there, and so I'm glad that was resolved. Thank you, Vice Chairman Nelson, for handling that. But anyhow, once again, we're in a discovery phase, and so once you see it on the agenda, then you know it's being talked about. So I just want to remind our citizens about that, not to get concerned but just to please reach out to us, and we can help inform you on anything that's going on here at the board. But that's all I wanted to say on that. So other than that, any other concerns? Not seeing any? All right, we are adjourned. Thank you, everyone.